Gluttony is something that I really don't see a lot of pastors talking about. And I believe that it's something that we really need to hear more about. I do not see a lot of sermons preached on gluttony or just really overindulging in that sense with food. I mean, people talk about sex and they talk about drugs, but when it comes to food, it seems like it gets like a pass for some reason, and it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. My name's LK Way. I am the wellness writer for the True Age Now blog, as well as the wellness coach for my own personal wellness brand, Wellhouse. And I want to talk to you about gluttony, the dangers of gluttony, and what it means to truly be full. You know, what is satiety, and some of the dangers of overindulging when it comes to food. Now, overindulging in food is very dangerous, despite how it's tremendously and almost grossly overlooked in church, right? We see a lot of men and women of God, excuse me, who are heavy, who are obese, who are morbidly obese, and you can, for the most part, you can be pretty sure that this person has an unhealthy relationship with food because they can't hide it. It's very obvious. Now, there are some people that aren't very big and they still have a very unhealthy relationship with food. You just can't tell because they're not that big. But when you're very big, it's kind of like you just can't really hide it because people can see, like, okay, well, you are a heavy person. And I really hate saying fat. You know, I had a friend that was a very big person, and I hated saying that because she didn't like it, and it made her, even though she was a big person, she did not like being called fat. So I'd rather say obese than fat. I don't know. I don't know if obese is more offensive, but I just kind of don't. I try to stay away from the F word because it just feels like, I don't know, feel disrespectful. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. So let's talk about gluttony, right? What does it mean to be gluttonous? Obviously, you're overindulging. Obviously, you have a relationship with food where you are satisfying that flesh and you are getting a euphoric sensation for doing so. When we indulge in food that is so delicious, especially when it's sweet, or if it has like the processed sweeteners in it, it is a euphoric sensation. It is a wonderful feeling. I myself, I am somebody I used to be pre-diabetic. I had a very bad addiction to sugar. I used to eat icing. I would drink syrup. I would like chocolate syrup. Like I would just like drink it. I would tear up a tub of ice cream, like maybe like the half a pint in one day and not want to share. Like usually if you get like the tub, yeah, it's typically enough for like, you know, a couple of people, at least 4 or 5, right? Like I would not want to share that. The shame, right? It was very greedy. Like I wanted to like hide it. Like sometimes I did hide it because I didn't want to share. So when you're dealing with being gluttonous, you're definitely overindulging. There is a euphoric sensation that's placed in the wrong thing. So you have your euphoric or that pleasuring sensation. You're getting that from essentially an idol. Your food is kind of like your idol in a sense because you're allowing that to kind of run the show. Like I did, you know, I would eat sugar to the point where I would be shaking and I would still eat it. I would feel sick and I would still eat it. I would know that I'm going to eat this ice cream. I'm not going to feel good afterwards and I'm still going to eat it, right? So there's an addiction involved. It's hard to break that because you feel so good when you do it. So I would go as far as to saying that people that are gluttonous have an addiction. There is also a spirit of addiction present or addiction present, you know, to where it's hard to break that relationship with food. It's hard to not eat it. It's not easy. And if that's you, I just want to talk to you about something. Okay, so I'm going to use another F word. This F word, if you're somebody who's a little bit more on the heavy side or you are obese, you do not want to hear this word. Like you probably already know what I'm going to say, right? It is almost like profanity right now. Because I remember when I was dealing with my food addiction, and I was a lot more heavier set than I am now. I did not necessarily want to fast. Yeah, I said it, fast. And respectfully done, right? So if you're going to embark on a fast, which you should, I would highly recommend a intermittent fast. And if you're on medication, especially if you're diabetic, I would be careful with the fasting, because for those of you who have problems with your insulin, you know that you can run into some issues when you are not eating for a long amount of time. But the point is to really break that addiction and that desire that you have, and that euphoric feeling that you're placing in the wrong place. You're placing in your food, and you need to not place it in your food. It needs to be placed in something else. So if you're trying to break that addiction, and I actually talk about that in my book. I have a book. This is a paper copy. The paper copy is not available for purchase yet, but I do have the ebook that's available, and it talks about how to break food addictions. It actually talks about how to eat. So it talks about how to eat well. I talk about how to realize when you're really full, and just basically how to eat. You know, we don't know how to eat anymore. And because we don't know how to eat, it's very easy to become addicted to your food, overindulge, and now you're gluttonous. And when you're gluttonous, it's not something that just affects you when you're eating food. It's something that can spill over to other areas of your life. You know, you are self-indulging, you're overindulging, you don't know when to stop, you lack discipline. And these are things that you will experience in other areas of your life, even if you may not realize it. Sit back and think about it. You know, you can't just have one Twinkie, you got to have four. And then you don't even want to share when you have more than enough. So you need to break that. And really, it starts with you acknowledging the fact that you have a problem. It is not a good sign if you are overweight, especially if you call yourself a man or woman of God, and you're up there standing on, before people, and you're speaking the word of God. And it's very evident that there is an area in your life that you need to get in check. I think we do a really good job in churches of, talking about this demon and that devil and this devil. And there are people that will sit up there and they'll eat until they're about to puke. And then they want to go pray away diabetes. And they want to go pray away obesity, or want to go pray away high cholesterol. They want to pray away, having different issues with their heart. But you really need to get to the root of the problem. And it's your overindulgence, and it's the improper place that you put food in your life. Your food has a wrong place in your life. It's somewhere where it shouldn't be, and you need to take it from that place and put it where it's supposed to be. Because right now, I really want to call it what it is. It's an idol. It causes you to hurt yourself. If you're obese and you're overweight, you have problems walking, you have problems sleeping, you can't do basic things because of your weight. You're allowing food, your interaction with food, your relationship with food to hurt you. And it's not good. And I understand that eating is, I know how amazing it can feel to eat something that tastes good. I know. I used to have a problem with sugar. And I'm telling you right now, there was a time where my whole day would light up when I sat down to eat some ice cream. And don't talk to me while I'm eating this ice cream. And don't think you're finna get any, even if I got a lot of it. I would hide ice cream from my children. I didn't want to share it with them. And I remember my husband telling me one day, because I was tearing the ice cream up. I remember him telling me, he was like, "You got a problem." I'm like, "No, I don't. I got a problem." Because when you addicted to something, you're the last one to know. So I realized, like, dang, I got a problem. And I did some drastic changes to my diet, but it wasn't easy. And ultimately what led me to make that change. And I really feel like if you're watching this right now, I feel I will go as far as to say this is a prophetic moment for you. I was in my living room and I felt the Holy Spirit telling me that if you want to see the age of 50, you need to stop eating the way you're eating. Because I was throwing them sweets back. I was so addicted to sugar that it literally caused me to overdose to the point where I was dying. I was almost out of here because I like sugar that much. It definitely had a position in my life that it was not supposed to have. I'll share this with you real quick. So it was around the holiday season. I was feeling a little bit sad because there were certain things that I wanted to accomplish that I hadn't accomplished yet. So I'm like, dang, I really want to get this done, that done. I didn't have it done yet. So already that euphoric relationship that I had with food was in a place it wasn't supposed to be. Whenever you're feeling downcasted or a little bit sad, you're supposed to bring your problems to the Lord. You're not supposed to be anxious or worry about nothing. You're supposed to bring it to Him, lay it at His feet, pour your heart out to Him, and He will give you the peace that trespasses the peace that trespasses all understanding. I feel like I'm saying that wrong for some reason, but I'm not. So the peace that trespasses all understanding. But I didn't do that. I wanted to get something sweet. And I'm not really a drinker. I definitely don't drink now, but this was a couple of years ago. But I decided to have like a drink, right? Now at that time of my life, I actually would drink wine occasionally because I just like drinking wine. I don't drink wine anymore. I actually quit drinking everything. But I got this sweet drink. I told my husband, I just want a nice sweet drink. And we'll just sit and watch a cool movie, right? It was around the holiday season. I thought it'd be cool to watch a cool holiday movie, have my little sweet drink, da da da. Well, I sent my husband to go get the drink, and I heard the Holy Spirit. I was in my kitchen, and I heard it very loud, not audibly, but inside. And it was clear as day. He said, I would not do that if I were you. And it was so strong that I paused. Almost like when you about to go do something and somebody call your name and you stop because you heard them call your name. So you're like in mid walk and they say, hey, and you stop because you hear them call you and you go like this because you know they called you. Like that's how it felt. Like I'm in my kitchen, I was doing something, I stopped. I paused because I knew I heard that in my heart, but I ignored it. So anyway, I drank that drink. Long story short, I end up I could feel my body shutting down when I began to drink it. I lost my bowels. I was screaming to the Lord like, I'm sorry. I know I'm wrong. I know you told me not to do this. I did it anyway because I wanted something sweet to drink. It wasn't the alcohol. I didn't care about alcohol. It was the sweet taste of the alcohol. But I was like throwing it back because it tastes so good. And I don't even think I was drinking it right. I think it was supposed to be like a chaser. But anyway, the Lord forgave me for that. But that was a terrible experience, all because of this wrong relationship that I had with food, because I had to have something sweet, because I had made it an idol, because I was using it to soothe something that it wasn't supposed to soothe. We glorify this on TV, right? It's propaganda in television. We see it. You get to have a bad breakup. What's the first thing you do when you got a bad breakup, right? You go get that tub of ice cream. You go get that chocolate, you eating all that junk, right? We see that. And it's just kind of like normal, but it's bad. It's very bad because we are allowing food to become something that it's not supposed to be. And although we have this temporary euphoric sensation where we're eating away our problems, screw so-and-so, forget that person, give me some more chunky monkey, we're really hurting ourselves even more. And this is a great example of how Satan sifts us like wheat. He sifts us like wheat through our diet, because we can be preaching the word, we can be out evangelizing, we can be doing all this stuff, but yet we don't have enough discipline to pay attention to what we're putting in our bodies. And we die young. We die when we're not ready. I heard someone tell a story. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. And I'm sorry, I keep saying one more thing, but I'm flowing here. So if I feel I need to say it, then I'm going to say it. So there was this guy, he witnessed his uncle's, I'm going to try to tell this as best I can without being too long-winded, because he really took his time to explain this, and it probably took him 30, 40 minutes to tell the story. So I'm going to really try to tell you the short version. So basically, his uncle, this is someone that was seeing into the spiritual realm. His uncle had passed, and he was seeing his uncle in the spirit realm as he was passing. So they were at the hospital. His body was in the bed. His wife was just totally just outrageously distraught. She did not want her husband to pass away. The husband, as his spirit is lingering, he's seeing them around his body. He's seeing them try to revive him. And he's very concerned about his wife. He's like, I don't want to go. I want to be there for her. You know, he wasn't ready to go. Long story short, he's able to see him in the heavenly realm, and when his uncle transitioned to the heavenly realm, so he's no longer on the earthly realm outside of his body, seeing all the sadness around his body. He's in the heavenly realm, and he was able to actually dialogue with his uncle in the heavenly realm. The Lord allowed him to have a heavenly encounter where he was able to see his uncle transition from his hospital bed into heaven. The Lord allowed him to see that. And his uncle, you know, spoke to him briefly. It wasn't a super long dialogue, but he said to his nephew, he said, take care of your body. And then he was gone. Like, I'm going to go be with Jesus. But the point that I want to bring out is that and by the way, he was a pastor. So his uncle was a pastor. So this man, he died before he was ready. He was very sad to leave his wife. He didn't want to do it, but I mean, it was time for him to go. I mean, if you don't take care of your body, what can you do? You basically, you didn't take care of your body. Yes, there's occasions where we have those miracle healings if you believe for that. And I really could get into that in another video. I do believe in miracle healing. But the point of the matter is, this was a man of God. He did not take care of his body. He died when he wasn't ready. He had to leave his spouse, who was very distraught. She wasn't ready to let him go or to be separated from him yet. And he told his nephew, take care of your health. Take care of your body. So I wanted to share that with you because you get one of these bodies, right? You get one of these bodies. And if you are allowing food to dictate to you your life, you don't got no discipline. You know you're very heavy. You've allowed that paradigm of, well, this is just me. This is how I am. You don't like looking at yourself in the mirror. Like I got to where I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. Because I'm like, man, I'm so big. Look at me. I look terrible. I don't want to look at that. You need to look at yourself in the mirror. And you need to, yes, you are beautiful, and because you're a creature of the Lord, you're a human being that the Lord made. So you are wonderfully made, but you have to take accountability for what you're putting in your mouth. And it starts right now. You want to know a very quick way to start seeing that fat, and I will say the F word just this once. Melt off. Give up that white processed sugar and those complex carbs. Stop eating white rice, a lot of bread, a lot of pasta. Eat more vegetables. The food don't gotta taste nasty now. You can make good tasting healthy food. And have your protein with that. And change the pedestal that you've put food on. So that's what I'll leave you with. My name's LKWay. This is my book, How to Eat Well. It has a lot of information about how to eat and the things that you shouldn't eat and why, and what you should eat and why. It's a really helpful book. But I hope you found this information helpful. If so, please like it, share with someone that you feel would benefit from the video. And that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to say in this video. But have a great day. Again, my name is LKWay, and I'm wishing you an awesome day today.